What's up, Barcode? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? What's up, Twitter? And for this ice screen, I will be like comparing the future of Marvel, DC, and plus what I think the future crossovers that probably can come if this crossover once a Ranger always um could be profitable for like Netflix. I think
Right.
be because think about shoot that because in my opinion, I think this once a Ranger thing, that once a Ranger once an episode, I think it's our episode probably can open the doors just for more crossovers, just for the other seasons. I think,
Right. Yeah.
in my
Right.
opinion,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree on that. Right.
because right, if you look at it and stuff like that based on other seasons and stuff like that, I
Right.
think for me, based on seasons that everybody else will be seeing, it sent me, in my opinion, it probably opened the door for in space, Lost Galaxy crossovers and stuff like that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
They leave the door open for those because if you look at the crossovers, because then I want to know, in my opinion, what happened to Terra Venture, what happened to some of those enemies that just got away in Lost Galaxy as
Right.
well.
Yeah. I know. I know. Right. Yeah.
Be, be, because thing about my opinion about that, it sounds like it's other seasons, the other Power Rangers that probably come back. I think it's on that and probably could be more crossover shows and more crossover movies.
Yeah.
And they probably bring back the Mass Rider too as one of them as the
Yeah.
crossover. Because you remember one up in the 90s, it was the Core and King Drax versus the Power Rangers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, and for they probably bring that back too, I think, in my opinion. Because if you look at that, the
I
Mass
agree.
Rider could. Because if you look at it, that if they bring in Mass Rider and cross it over just with Power Rangers, like it was in the 90s, that could open up the door just the just the more Kamen Rider show. I think, in my opinion, it people
I
like
agree.
Mass Rider and crossover with Power Rangers. It, that's just my opinion. What I think, because if you look at it, Power Rangers got over 25 years in history, and plus the Sentai footage. If you look at it, if you count that, they, they got a whole lot of stuff that they can do.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion,
I agree on that. Yeah.
That- and that was some people just forget sometime. I think, in my opinion, because you could look at Power Ranger was usually a Sentai thing at first, up to Japan, and some of the Japanese season is better than the American season. Sound like time for shows, and
Yeah. Get rid of this season notes for that. Yeah.
because think about me, if I was Netflix and they want to bring more big old Saban stuff over here, I would bring in Mass Rider, Kamen Rider, all of
Right.
them, all of them in Netflix. Because if you look at it, Power Rangers is actually doing good on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and out and plus they actually make money in the stores too.
Yeah.
Because should I go in the store
That's true.
sometime,
Yeah.
I can't even find the item.
That's true. Yeah. They're likable artists. Yeah.
Because like the only stuff I could have find of Power Rangers I could have find is like
The figures.
I could have found the Megazord, some of them the older seasons, but the thing is, shoot, I had to buy it that day because shoot, I already know if I wouldn't have bought on Megazords
It'd
that
be sold
day,
out fast.
yeah,
It'd be sold out very fast. Yeah.
because because at the last time I tried waiting to the next day just until I got paid to get it, that junk was gone on payday. I said, God, though.
Yeah.
I was mad too because shit, that it wasn't my payday when I wanted either. I said, God, no,
Well,
and that be the thing. Because at Megazords I got so far, I got the Samurai Zord just from Mighty Morphin.
right.
I think I one because I got some of them. It was hard to find.
Mhm.
It was Lost Galaxy, the Samurai, um,
Razor Hoodie.
the Sunrise Zord, the from Mighty Morphin. I got that.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm about to turn my camera to show you some of the ones I got. I got the Mighty Morphin right here,
Okay, that's awesome.
and first I got the Samurai Mighty Morphin Zord right here,
Oh yeah,
and,
so
and these were and these were hard to find.
yeah, because yeah,
And plus I got the Lost Galaxy the Megazord too.
awesome.
And this was the Lost Galaxy Megazord. Galaxy Megazord just for Lost Galaxy.
Hmm.
This was the hardest one to find right here.
I see.
Because on payday, I couldn't find these two. I had to go to two different WalMarts to find them and
Okay.
stuff like that. Be, because think about it, the people actually think it'd be easy to find, but it's not easy to find though. To find these stuff
Right. Yeah.
and stuff like that because shoot, they always assume it's easy to find, but until you actually try to find it yourself, it's not easy.
Hard to find. Yeah. Finding to me though, it's hard stuff that I want to get, but it's hard to get find it in stores. Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of like the other. Yeah, because the thing about I learned about the thing about powering this stuff. If you try to find them, if you find it, get it.
Yeah.
Just think about if you don't,
Basically,
it's over.
you miss out. It would hard to find again for anything like ever again for the item for it.
Yeah, and kind of other shoot I got the throwback Justice League thing too. The Justice League pack.
Ooh, that's awesome.
That's the whole original seven Justice League right here.
Nice.
But but I think it's from New 52 because the Cyborg I think
Oh yeah, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
because the original one had Shazam and but I couldn't find that one though. The original seven with him
Mm.
and those things wasn't cheap either. If people were thinking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like people think that those things be cheap, but it's not cheap getting them stuff and stuff
Yeah,
like
some
that.
people
So
had like high price for it. Yeah.
yeah, because the only thing right now I try to find is like a morpher just for a good price for me to get. Because think
What
about
kind of morpher?
shoot, huh?
What kind of
I
morpher
try to
is the my morpher?
uh I try to find a mighty morphin or one of them time force
Ooh,
morphers.
I mean, I'm waiting for Hybrid to make the master morpher though. They have to make the good price for it.
Yeah, I try to wait on that one too. Because think about it, they announced it, but I don't know which store they're gonna have it in and stuff like that.
Yeah, hopefully
because
all stores and not be Walmart. It would be very sad for it.
yeah, because think about it, when that thing come out, I'm gonna get that thing. I'm getting
Yeah,
it
hoping the price might be too pricey. Yeah,
because there two morphers I want that I might get besides the Master Morpher. I want on the Time Force and one from um Lost Galaxy or
the
Turbo.
Quantum Morpher.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I like that morpher the Quantum. And plus the original Time Force morpher too. Those ones look good too.
Oh yeah,
Be, be, because like people actually forgets when you write a show, you got to actually um you got to actually draw out your morphers and stuff like that to build around the show as well.
yeah,
Bec- Because if you look at it, the morphers
yeah,
is part of the story too.
yeah. That's true. You need working for it, right? And the function had to work for it.
Because if you look at it, the big old Mighty Morphin Morpher is the most iconic besides the Lost Galaxy and Time Force.
Right.
Because and and plus the Mighty Morphin Morpher came out first, and 25
Yeah,
years later, people still like it.
yeah,
Because thing about me is like shoot, I actually give other morphers a chance to prove themselves.
yeah.
Like the time because like I like turbo morphers and put the
Right.
Zeo morpher is good, but you need all both hands to do that. I say, God dog.
Yeah,
Because think about it, if you were fighting a bad guy or something like that, and you had Zeo morpher, man, so you better make sure you backing up just while you morphing,
yeah,
while you fighting with Zeo.
yeah.
And because my favorite one was and plus and and plus I like the Ninja Storm morphers too. And how it looked,
Yeah,
and plus the big old design that came behind it. I like those morphers,
right.
and that what people seem to like forget sometimes. If you look at
The
the
how it
other
looks.
season, yeah, because like Master Morphers is TJ need one from just for Turbo and
Right.
Adam need one, Catherine need one.
Yeah,
I would say Zach, but I'm not sure if they counting the comic book version of Zach too. That's why I try to figure out if they count the comic book version of him when he morphed into the Lolo or Pink Ranger or something like that. Because if they're doing that,
right.
Zach might need a Master Morpher too.
Yeah,
And 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 kind of like I don't that and like you probably can answer this time for like for Ninja Storm. They had
mm-hmm.
Blake and Hunter, and they had Screw
Right.
in Secret and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't get
Yeah,
how that. I don't get how the other masters didn't know it was a Thunder and Lightning school, and they put them together.
yeah. I don't know. I think as Omega's that on one that one. He know about Ninja Steel first, and I mean this one. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, because shoot, I'll be looking at fan films and stuff like that to just answer that questions and stuff like that. Because I keep on saying, I
yeah,
say, wait a minute, that all these schools around here they got air, water, and earth knew by each other. But you telling me that lightning and thunder didn't? That just don't make sense. Uh, 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 in my opinion. And and plus you telling me that lightning and thunder just didn't um know about air, water, and earth school just until the Ninja Storm season. That that doesn't make sense based on all the elements and stuff like that and the training. Because if you look at it, Tori, Shane, and Dustin could have sensed just when each other was training and stuff like that.
Right.
Just during the season. And how could it not sense the thunder and lightning people training? Because that wouldn't make
Right.
sense. If you could sense if you could sense air, water, and earth, thunder is part of the earth.
Right.
And and that in my opinion wouldn't make sense. In my opinion, for them to do
Yeah.
that. And that's kind of like for me, in my opinion, that's kind of get me confused at a certain point. Because the thing about me, in my opinion, what I be seeing, shoot, I don't like the uh life of Megaforce they had. The Megaforce season could be much better, I think, in my opinion,
Yeah.
if they would have
Yeah.
if they would
Rush. They added
explain
some backwards. Yeah. Yeah.
the because like the Sentai version did like
It's better.
a much better
Yeah. It's
version
perfect
of
anniversary.
them
Yeah.
explaining, yeah,
Yeah.
explaining everything like that.
It's perfect. Yeah.
I don't get like for the American
Saban
version.
wanted to do
I
that.
don't get
I
who
like to
wrote
rush it. Saban did.
it. Yeah. Oh, really? Like that? Hmm.
Yeah, because Saban was just
Be,
we'll just make it together. You can know it's pretty but really, yeah. Even the actors, Make voice actors want to change a bit. So yeah.
because the thing about me, in my opinion about it, it's like shoot, I didn't like the way they didn't explain certain stuff and throughout
Yeah.
the season. Because if you look at it, I was keep on seeing Troy. Troy dream like this. Troy dream like that.
Yeah. Say
What
that.
kind of
Yeah.
ability? What kind of ability does the Troy got that he could dream about a bit better with everyone else don't got?
Yeah. Yeah. I wondered
Because
that. That was good. And that's why I don't like the troll character because I was interested, but
because
not interested no more. For it.
yeah, because if you look at it, he's another version of Jaden.
Yeah. At least
He's like
Jaden had backstory. Good.
yeah, you know what I said. He could have been like a better version of Jaden if the writers would have put some backstory,
Effort
the
to it.
reason why he could have did all them stuff.
Yeah. Maybe he chosen to be a leader or something like that. But most masters.
Because they are for me it sounds like Troy having powers wouldn't be a stretch because that's what wherever got Ninja Storm, wherever had Ninja Steel with people with powers and
Yeah.
stuff like that, that's Rangers.
Yeah. That makes sense for yeah.
That and, and that's all they just had to say. It is Troy was born with ability to dream about stuff that probably could happen in the future. It's a probably, but
Yeah, but
and stuff like that.
prophecies, right? Yeah.
Yeah, be, 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 because the thing about it, because the thing about for me, like I'll be seeing like time for Power Ranger stuff like that. Power Ranger fans don't want you to accept certain facts about certain seasons and stuff like that. It sounds like most Power Ranger fans is like good with facts and stuff like that. But the thing about it, once some Power Ranger fans this guy favorite season, you can't really criticize the small stuff in these seasons that even if the facts is true.
Yep.
I'll be seeing some of them be, because think about for me right that and like for me in my opinion I think the Zordon era was the most flushed out era. I think in my opinion based
Yeah.
on story and based on the arc they had based on different seasons because you go from Mighty
Yeah, yeah,
Morphin,
never. Yeah,
Zero Turbo, and stuff like that, and it leads to an arc, and that was a good one. But when they got to the second and third part, yeah, this was Disney series. Sound like SPD was good, but the thing about you couldn't tell what was on the arc to get to the next season.
yeah,
The stuff is it sound like Disney had good series. That wasn't the problem. The problem was is not the Zordon era when they had like an end game to it
right.
and, and stuff like that. Because the Zordon era went from Marty Morphin, they went for Jason, Tommy, everybody growing up, become heroes, saving people and stuff like that. And when they got to in
Right.
space, those people had grew up and be it stuff like that. But the one mistake I think they did in space is by killing Zordon. I think in my opinion that was the dumbest decision they did. In
Yeah,
my opinion, because that's what because they, if you look at other seasons, it's still other bad guys around because we still
yeah.
got Master Luthor, we still got other bad guys and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because they,
Yeah.
I think they did that just for the shock value. I think it's something like that. In my opinion, they did it for shock value. It,
Yep.
just to see an end of an era, which was the dumb thing, in my opinion. Because right, if you look at the comic books, they said that Zordon never died. They said Zordon is some kind of dimension thing or something like that.
Yeah.
He can't really die. He can't really die if he in the morphin grid or something like that. And they said that Zordon and Zed was in the comic books they was the same type of people.
Right.
But the difference was it's like Zed didn't have no good heart. That was the problem. He wanted order, but then he wanted order his way. But you
Right.
can't do that though in time for like you want to rule the people. You can't really rule your way. You gotta try to work with the people too as
Choose.
well.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good leader.
Yeah.
In time for my opinion, the on the Project comic books is much better than the Marvel comic books right now.
Right.
Be, because you look at the different teams, the stories and stuff like that going on with Power Rangers right now in the comic books, it's much better.
Right.
Because you look
Yeah.
at the Power Rangers comic books, do do not bring in political stuff throughout their
Nope.
books. It just tell a good story, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I learned. Because shoot, man, just tell a good story, and people keep on buying it.
Yeah.
And that what people, in my opinion, just need to learn sometimes. I think, in my opinion, uh, if you tell like a good story and stuff like that, that the comic book readers should keep on coming back.
Right.
Because you look at Superman comic books, the early Superman comic books, Batman, stuff like that. That all the writers and artists were thinking about is making a good story. They wasn't worried about
Yeah.
political gain and stuff like that. Everything like that, and deal with comic books and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
And kind of like for me, right, in my opinion, like for comic books and everything like that, um,
Right.
shoot, I just think like the comic book Power Ranger movies, if it come out from Netflix, it could
Right.
come in second place besides DC. I think
Yeah.
based on the future of it,
Yeah. Right.
because you look at like not on the way of Marvel going, like time for comic books, and people not wanting to look at them. If Power Ranger and Netflix probably could come in, make a Power Ranger movie, make it good, and put it in theaters for about a couple of weeks or something like that, that jump be good.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion,
I don't know.
be, be, because right, if you look at the big old movie Extraction that was on Netflix,
Right.
this with Chris Hemsworth, that movie was in
Yeah.
theaters for about a day or two, I think, but it made money.
Yeah.
They could do the same thing for Power Rangers, is put in theaters and plus on Netflix. I think, in my opinion, it, because like the thing for me, the what I like time for movies and shows, ooh, it's actually a good thing. I think some of that based on Power Rangers, that's how the future is. I'll be seeing the future that I'll be seeing for
Right.
some of them. Yeah, it's great, and especially for like the newer Power Ranger shows. If I was America on an American branch of the Power Ranger show, I would make
Right.
a I would make a original series. I think something like that. They just make your own suits up, make your own suits,
Right.
and just try to work with the Japanese people. I think something like that with them, than just with the premise of the
Right.
show. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just work with the
Right.
Japanese people with the premise, with the designs of suits and stuff like that. That's what I would do if I was American branch of the Power Rangers show. Make your original show, but that's what put the spirit of just the Japanese Power Rangers show in it as well. Just stuff like that. And and kind of like I do think the Cosmic Fairy thing deal with Power Rangers, Cosmic Fairy. I I think that series
Right.
gonna be good too. I think, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because they might. I don't think it's gonna be bad though, in my opinion though.
I don't think
In
so.
my opinion, I don't think it's gonna be bad. Time for like Power Rangers series and stuff like that. I'll be seeing. Be, be, because seeing like Beast Morphers was a good series. It think about story. It was emotional at some
Right.
points.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, Beast Morphers is better than She-Hulk. It's better than most of the Disney Plus stuff based on writing, fighting, and stuff like that. It's better, and plus the character
Right.
and and plus like the character development was actually good too.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing I think that's gonna be good though. I think, in my opinion, because right, because right, when you look at Netflix and Power Rangers, it seems like it always thrive on Netflix.
Right.
It, it just Power Rangers was on Disney. People didn't feel like Disney was just was constrained with it, which was kind of true
Yeah.
based on the news that we got later on.
Right.
There with Disney and Power Rangers, because it seemed like Disney didn't believe in it. Seemed like, in my opinion, they just were making a show,
Yeah. Yeah.
and some of my opinion, SPD was good. SPD Ninja Storm was a good series, but the thing is, it wasn't like an end game, sound like the Zonar era had, like in space. They had an end game. They had like a big battle just to try to destroy evil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Therefore, evil to to be trying to destroy the good, like in space. We could have had Gold Ranger in it. They had Gold Ranger. They had a Phantom Ranger.
Right.
They had the Blue Sentinel Ranger came back.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and this one I don't get either. Barcode. I count
Yeah.
Nightwolf that's in Mystic on Force. I count him as a ranger.
Right.
Oh, and
Oh,
stuff
so
like that. But
don't count as a Ranger.
some people say he's not a ranger, but the thing about it, if he's not a ranger, that would mean that Sentinel is that Sentinel Knight not a ranger either. That's on Mystic Force. That was training rangers.
Yeah, because RJ, I mean, I can't win range though. What range
RJ
I
is a
can see?
ranger,
Yeah, I can.
when you count Mystic Force, they try to say that that Korag is not a ranger. I say he is because there's
Yeah,
he was
it's
be,
his
because they
ultimate form.
count
Yeah,
yeah because you look
I
at
count his ultimate form. Yeah,
because you count Korag was Nick father, remember?
Mr. Minor be
And
so yeah,
because think about it, he was good before the man had turned him or something like because he was trying to save everybody and he
yeah,
got dragged down and stuff like that.
yeah,
And nobody knew that that was Limbo or something like that. That was his name, I think. Yeah, yeah, Limbo.
right.
Yeah, because think about it, he was actually the Fire Ranger. He was the first Red Ranger, really, in Mystic Force.
In that universe, yeah,
Yeah, in that universe, he would have been the first Red Ranger, but the thing is, he was dragged down inside that demon pit, stuff like that,
yeah,
everything like that. And cause like the thing about for me, right, in my opinion, I would count him just as the evil ranger that didn't know who he was because he sound like Trent. You know what I mean? He sound like Trent and Dino Thunder. He met
yeah,
Trent and Dino Thunder is like he didn't know who he was and stuff like that at first be, be, because they
yeah,
Trent could never remember what happened 5 minutes before he beat up a monster or the Rangers and stuff like that.
yeah,
And, and and plus the only person that could help him was Tommy at the time be, because Tommy know what he was going through at the time.
yeah,
And kind of for me the only person that could have defeat Trent was Tommy because be, be,
yeah,
be, because like for me Connor didn't he didn't had the heart just to shoot Trent and just to slow him down because you know I said that the under lasers wouldn't have hurt him that much. He just would have fall back a little bit, but that's why he
yeah,
wanted to die.
yeah,
Because that's what both of y'all Rangers. He was a Ranger too at the time. He wasn't the human Trent and
yep,
stuff like that. And because think about it, and it sounds like it sounds like the three rules that Zordon got, in my opinion. I think that on the first rule is sound self defense. I understand the reason why he don't want his Rangers just going around hurting people and stuff like that. I understand that part. The second part, the second rule, just don't tell nobody. So that's kind of hard to do based on cameras we got. You know what I mean? They got cameras and stuff around here in America, everything like that. Uh,
right, yeah.
unless Zordon got some type of barrier
Help,
that
yes, right, yeah,
that can block the cameras just for seeing just who he is. That's the only thing I think of it. And and
for
just what
sure,
John
yeah,
saying, talk some
yeah,
just don't tell nobody. I said
yeah,
one of your friends will this will figure it out it's you.
yeah. But you be
And
disciplined
that's
a
how
lot, right? Yeah,
yeah, because think like your friends, your girlfriend or wife just will figure out it's you after a while. And you just will tell them anyway because you look at later seasons, they had the Power Rangers in public anyway with their faces be,
yeah, for
be,
sure, but yeah,
because they had them in the storm. They had them in
Yeah.
SPD. They had them in Lost Galaxy. They because they pick out the five.
Okay. Yeah.
But the thing is that but the grid still choose their fine range and stuff like that. But it's just in a different setting. But the grid still choose them
Yeah. True.
and stuff.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's some great choose range, but someone may made power. Yeah.
yeah. Because like the only season I think of that had choosing without the morphin grid was Lightspeed and
And Lost
Operation.
Galaxy. And Lost
Operation
Galaxy
Overlord.
too. The sword. The sword too. That's why the Crystal
Oh,
Saber.
yeah. Didn't the grid still choose the five, or was it the sword that choose them?
I'm pretty sure the sword though. I don't know. The the crossover engine connect to the Morphe grid, so I don't know how that works for it. Yeah,
Okay,
the logic.
okay.
I mean, the logic works because
Oh
when
yeah, yeah,
in New
yeah.
Music to me, the power connect to it with copy of the power first. Yeah, in the Morphe grid for it. Because in Beast Morphe, then you grab
Oh,
some of your tech for it.
okay.
Yeah,
But Lightspeed, that it was Captain Mitchell that actually chose them in the colors and stuff
yeah,
like that,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
everything else like that. That's what I think.
yeah.
Because yeah, and plus let me see what season. Um, Ninja Storm, there was handpicked. There was handpicked, I think, too, in Ninja Storm.
Yeah,
Because you remember, there was the last three students. There was the only one that could have been picked at this time.
yeah,
Let me
yeah,
think. Yeah, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed,
yeah.
Ninja Storm.
And overdrive, I said, yeah. Pick the color.
Oh yeah. Beast Morphers. No. Yeah, yeah. Beast Morpher was handpicked,
I'm before this time want to sign the color, so yeah,
but they but Beast Morpher they actually trained before they morphed doing stuff like that. They went through training and stuff like that. That's what I like about the Beast Morpher teams. You
yeah,
train people
yeah,
as that's actually a good thing before they become a ranger because
as a skill
if you look at it,
point for it.
yeah, and sound like an let me see, and sound like the Psycho Rangers. Shoot, um,
Right.
I because think about the next crossovers, we need to we need to see what happened to the old villains that the Rangers had defeated. Did it turn good?
Yeah,
Did it stay bad? Did some of
or
them?
I'll probably get bring back from the direct before they're dead.
Yeah, yeah. Because you look at the newer seasons, it were monsters that could actually bring back the monsters that the Rangers had defeated.
Yeah,
Be, be, because think about it, the Psycho Rangers, I think the Psycho Rangers need to be good. I think this time because if you look at it, if Lower Zed back like they said he is, I think that Skull
yeah,
Man, the on just the skull collector, or just Ivan Ooze probably could come back too from the dead. Because think about it, if you could bring back Laura Zed and you could bring back all these other monsters in the newer seasons, I I know that Ivan Ooze. is not that far behind.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Because right because in my opinion, I just when they flip, I make a two-part probably this movie. There's about Ivan Ooze coming back with his army
Yeah.
coming back. Sound like the Mega Force
Right.
seasons. Sound like the army coming back
Mhm.
with the Armageddon, and he could
Yeah.
bring back some of his machines that was in the first movie. Because so you look at the first movie, the Rangers had enough trouble with two. He needed to bring
Yeah.
back three or four if I just for four robots, just the Ivan Ooze thing sound like one is Scorpion,
Right.
one like a praying mantis or something that stands up. It needed one that looked like a lion or a bear that stands up, and need one that looked like a snake or something like that. Just
Yeah.
just knowing Ivan Ooze attitude and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because the
Completely.
thing about it, Ivan Ooze, Ivan Ooze attitude need to be his downfall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just when he lose and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
you look at the
Definitely
first
agree.
movie dealing with Mighty Morphin, his attitude was his downfall,
Yeah.
and they need to do the same thing if they make a new version of Ivan Ooze or something like that. Unless that Ivan Ooze is bringing help with him,
Probably for yeah.
Be- because think about it, we already know that Ivan Ooze is a smart bad guy. He's a
Right.
smart one, and he was actually the first bad guy that actually
Yeah.
beat Zordon up in the Zordon era. That
Yeah.
because it wasn't Zed or Rita, it was actually Ivan Ooze in the movie. He was the first one that actually to defeat Zordon inside the big old
Yeah.
command center and be able to get in.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Yeah. For yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I think too. Because the other thing that so I like the Power Ranger series is like the Power Ranger series actually teach you how to be how to be a good regular person, and
Yeah.
and you don't got to actually
Like the
tease people and stuff like that.
let's
That
separate. Yeah.
to get your way. Yeah, because sure that's what I think it actually do. It actually teach you how to work together with people too.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like me, in my opinion. That's what I think. It teach you how to work with other people. Because the thing about for me, if the Pioneer show and if the Pioneer show teach you how to be regular people, teach you about teamwork too, and
Yeah.
it teach about teamwork and plus they teach you just how to work with other people. Because you look at Ninja Storm and all them other
Yeah.
seasons, it teaches you about teamwork. And most some people, I think, my opinion, just season primarily about different forms of teamwork based on the season and on and stuff like that. And kind of the other thing that I like seeing most of the time, that's dealing with Mega Force everything else like that is is like the Mega Force had the bad guys. They had the bad guys to
Yeah.
make the season serious. The bad guys was good. That wasn't my problem.
Right.
Just on Mega Force. My problem was they could have made the characters development a little bit better. I think, in
Yeah.
my opinion. because think about for me, if they can make the characters develop it better in that show would have been one of the best seasons. I think it did would have just developed other characters
yeah,
throughout the show. Because
yeah,
right, in my opinion, if they would have developed Troy a little bit more with his abilities,
yeah,
develop the Pink Ranger a little bit, just develop the whole team
yeah,
sound like the other seasons did. Did just give
yeah,
them an episode and a
definitely.
half or something like that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, to for the character with my friend.
Yeah, because if you look at the other seasons and everything like that, what we seeing could have been so good, man. Could have been good.
Yeah, we are not for,
Yeah, it went from an excellent show to this our average good show. I say, God, no. And the characters of
yeah,
the
not
show, I like
even,
it
some characters
because
called,
the characters I like the characters in the show. That they wasn't my
it's
problem. It
just
was the
couple
right
more
one.
efforts for, yeah,
Yeah,
because, explain for the lore for it, behind the power for Ranger for it, make horse for it, make horse for it.
yeah. That's the thing. And kind of like the other stuff I like about the stuff that I like about Beast Morphers is sound like Beast Morphers actually
Oh, you just
develop
looking about it.
the Rangers, yeah, each Rangers throughout the season. Because
Oh,
there's
the
like
callback to Ranger for it, yeah.
because that's what you look
You
at
can make the
Robbie the
lore
Blue
for it.
Ranger, yeah, and Beast Morphers, Robbie the Blue Ranger
Yeah,
actually grew throughout the whole season.
yeah,
Be, 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 because at first I look at him, I thought that he just was a mean person, just was the son of a general. Then as the season
yeah,
went along,
right.
you can actually see his personality and stuff like that grow throughout the seasons and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and stuff like that. In my opinion, would actually be like a real good thing. I think, in my opinion, based on Rangers, and kind of like for me seeing this, and kind of like for me, in my opinion, just seeing the Rangers back. That this Cosmic Fury team is actually a good thing. I think, in my opinion, but I
right.
would like to see
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
because, like for me, seeing this, I'm kind of like I'm kind of curious about Zato suit because think about it. I know blue, red, black, and green, but is Zato suit is meant to go into another dimension or something like that?
I don't know, really. Something new Ranger, like 10 to
Be,
me.
be, because think about for me, I think he might be one of them original Rangers. I think
Yeah,
that might be just made for the show,
yeah, I'm
and
pretty
that
sure
would
he
actually be a
was.
good thing. I think, in my opinion.
I mean, good, yeah, but it has like the Harry King uses Zordo. You said I footage of it. Well, I might not watch of it. Yeah,
Oh yeah, the Zords.
yeah,
I don't
because
know his Zord though.
Sentai don't have that color though. Yeah, it does not have the
Mm,
own color for it. It's a white, but it's not
yeah,
matched to it.
it looked like a champagne color or something. It
Something
looked
like that, yeah.
a champagne color, like it be on a bottle, and
Yeah,
it's not like and so in my opinion, they need to develop Amelia, I think, as a leader. I
right.
think that throughout Cosmic Fear, because things Sherry showed that that she could work with everybody. The problem gonna be is her being the leader just with Zato. Oh, wait a minute. I know what they're doing. They They might be doing the Jason Zombie, the Jason Tommy relationship is sound like Zato do his own thing most of the time, but they have Amelia leading the team fighting the monsters.
Right. Yeah.
If they need help, they gotta call Zato if they need help. Because you notice during just the big old Mighty Morphin seasons, it was Jason. It put the 5 original Rangers fighting the monsters first. If the monster just was too powerful, that was Zordon just called Tommy to go over there, and that might be the same thing. I think it might be happening here. Or do you think it's something different and stuff like that? And kind of like for me, right? That up in the trailer, I didn't see this suit in the trailer dealing with Adam. It was a different suit.
Right. Yeah.
It was a different suit than this than one that's up in the trailer. Unless that Adam suit, like he got to come from the on the station that he at to go there. Unless you need a different shirt just to travel through dimensions or something. Because because they to travel, he might need like a different suit or a different morpher or something like that to go through.
Right. Yeah.
Because because, because thing about it, um, because thing in my opinion, I think that Adam might be coming back in other original productions dealing with Power Rangers. Be,
Right.
because the next one deal with in space and Zeo, and that's Adam. Because they got to bring back Adam, they got to bring back TJ, they got to bring back let me see what's the other one. They got to bring back Cassie. They got to bring back Carlos. Everybody that was that up in the original era of Mighty Morphin, I think they probably got to bring those back.
Right. Yeah.
Be, be, because like for me, shoot, I just for the original Ranger that did with the Zordon era or just any other older era. You know what I'm saying? Bring me back for like an original era stuff. That's fresh on Netflix because think about it, that Netflix give you freedom to do stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
That,
Not
that's the one.
on Netflix. Right.
Yeah, and kind of like deal with the X-Men and stuff like that. Do you think Marvel might do the costumes like this, or do they might do it their own way?
Probably just like alter the cost. Probably.
Because like for the one suit I worry about Marvel doing Skyclops and
Yeah.
Wolverine. Those the two I'm worrying about.
Yeah.
And skill sets too. Because anybody Wolverine, I'm not worried about his fight scenes. He I mean good.
And she. Yeah.
He's
But
not
she's
the
the set
problem.
that he wearing though.
Yeah,
It's how the Twitter look for in movies.
yeah, because the one thing I worry about is Skyclops because look at it, Skyclops seeing like he can't fight and none of his movies.
Yeah.
And that's the disrespect that they put on him because just you look at an anime cartoon, the animation, Skyclops is a good leader. That he know how to call out orders and he know how to read the enemy. I don't get how they can't even get it right. Then with Skyclops, he can actually fight though. And Iceman too. They disrespect Iceman a little bit too in a movie. Because they talk some Skyclops or some type of the movie some other time for like
Yeah.
the Iceman. The Iceman in the movies was like he couldn't like use his powers that much. I said, wait a minute now.
yeah,
That up in an animation cartoon, he was one of the most advanced students in the school and stuff like that. He was
right,
that. You remember that animation cartoon and for the animation movies and stuff like that. Them with X Men's.
yeah,
Iceman. The Iceman was one of the most advanced students and stronger ones in the school.
yeah.
Not
I
even
never
side
knew.
costs mess with.
Yeah,
And plus, time for the movies, they done him a little bit.
yeah, for turn out for yeah.
And plus, and can someone ask me this? And why wasn't Archangel part of the X Men's? And he was that up in the animation cartoon because you remember the X Men that they had an Archangel being scary or something like that. He was somebody's son.
Yeah,
I said, wait a minute now. I said, wait a minute now. The last time I checked, dealing with X Men's and stuff like that, it sounded like Archangel had metal wings when he went to
yeah.
Egypt. And they just give him feather wings. I said
What?
this might be young so this might be young Archangel, but
Young
that's what.
Pepper, but should be half the middling. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because then about Marvel, I am learning about Marvel storytelling now. Storytelling and writing. I learn about that and stuff like that.
yeah, me too. Too.
Be- Because think about me, the storytelling that I'm learning about, shoot. I learn about Marvel not picking out the right story. That
Yeah,
just the right writer, just write the right story and stuff like that, just for the movies.
yeah,
And because you look at it now, the big old Fantastic Four Blade movie and the X Men's, those is the three big franchise that you don't want to mess up.
yeah,
Just deal with Marvel.
yeah. I got
And,
that. Yeah,
it could think about it. If you mess up the Fantastic Four, whoo, Marvel will be in trouble if you messed it up.
yeah. I got that for it. Not this. I don't know where watch the movie first.
Yeah, because right, if you look at X Men, that the X Men's it is a big universe in itself. Look at the comic books that came off the X Men by himself. You can make series and movies based on
Right. Yeah,
because
to make perfect sense.
because because look at the movies in the early 2000s. They made about 3 or 4 movies on Logan, just on Logan
Yeah,
Wolverine. Come on now. You make movie on Gambit.
I don't
You
base
can
off
make
shit.
movies on
Yeah,
Storm. I don't
and I
get
can't believe
how
she's
people.
that she's not different.
Yep, you could. So you look at the movie stuff like that based on the X Men they can make. They can make the movies based on, in my opinion, they can make them around apocalypse. I mean, apocalypse and stuff in Egypt.
Right.
They can make a movies based on just leading up to apocalypse. They can do it, and that what people just don't get half the time. Um, half the time doing movies, they can make one based on the basic universe based on Apocalypse by himself because that's when you make X-Men 1, then you tease Apocalypse, then you X-Men 2, then you tease Apocalypse and stuff like that. It's lots of ways to tease Apocalypse in the movie, and that one people in my opinion just don't get sometimes based on movies and shows.
Yeah.
The, and kind of like my other thing that I like about the X-Men itself, it 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 talked about the big issues without preaching to the people. It
Yeah.
actually
And
uh, um And action and comic books help you. It help you just to understand the characters that's in the
Yeah,
movies and
to
stuff
bring
like
to
that.
life. Yeah, to when a
Yeah,
fan liked the comic too, inspire them to see them in live action first.
yeah, because you look at when live action shoot, it seems like in my opinion, shoot, they just want to preach to you, just stand on showing you in a way and stuff
Yeah,
like that. That which I don't like about it, because
yeah,
think about for me, if you look at the Wonder Woman one movie, should this show tragedy and this show the way that Wonder Woman solved it. That's what they didn't make it a big old political issue. They just
yeah,
put it in the movie. They put it in the movie as a lesson to people and stuff like that. Just not judge people and stuff like that. And that's what and the movie was good.
yeah,
And that's the one thing that I like about the Wonder Woman one movie. Be, because the movies and the characters didn't really, in my opinion, judge you and stuff like that,
yeah,
because your thing was different, political stuff was different, and that's the thing I like. Is dealing
right,
with the movies and shows dealing with DC, because you look at DC
yeah,
shows. No, DC movies. The DC movies actually be good and stuff like that. And kind of like for X Men's, I want to see how they handle Road and Captain Marvel.
yeah,
Be, because think about it, we already know that Road takes some of powers just for Captain Marvel
yeah,
and stuff like that. But the thing about it, they might not do it from the MCU. They might change it or something like that.
right,
Because they might should they might experiment to earn her or something like that. They might try to experiment to earn her, experiment on her
right,
that just for Cap Marvel blood,
right,
just know the MCU. Because,
mm-hmm,
because think about it, if I end up being right and they use Cap Marvel blood
mm,
just to try to save Road, I gotta be like a big old predictor.
yeah,
Because think about it, we already know that Marvel like to change their on their lore a little bit
right.
and stuff
Yeah, or to
based on
the
character.
character a little bit for the story, fit the story for it. Yeah,
Because think about it, if you look at Ultron, Ant Man puts me in that movie.
yeah,
The Ultron movie, I keep on saying, I keep on saying, wait a minute now. Ant Man was the one that made Ultron. It wasn't no Iron Man that made it.
no,
And, and that was the main problem I had with the movie. The movie wasn't bad, but the thing is, Ultron, Ultron was the one that made that Ant Man was the one that made
who
Ultron.
create the Ultron, right?
Yeah,
And that Tony Hawk. Same thing in the anime series, right? Adventures, yeah.
yeah, because that's what you look at the anime stuff, everything like that. They got Ant Man actually making Ultron. They
Some
didn't have
version in the anime series, it made yeah, anime to make Ultron. Some version of the anime series.
be- because they said the original version was it
Is a
was
CG,
actually
right?
in my opinion it was actually Ant Man that said in the original version that made Ultron,
Right.
and that was the
Yeah.
thing I was waiting on seeing because I was doing my research. I said, oh wait a minute now, Ant Man plus be coming, man. I was
Yeah.
actually hyped to see that. I was actually hyped to see it, and then I got in the theaters. I got in the theaters, and plus I saw that they had Tony making Ultron. I was so mad. I said, God, dog.
Yeah.
I, and people were looking at me talking some, why are you mad? I say, have y'all read the comics? Because that's what if you read the comics,
Original.
and you will know the reason why I'm mad. And that's what
There's
this
not a
everybody.
spoiler origin for how what's gonna be created for him.
Yeah, because think about it, you know what they tell me, tell some, so you can't bring everything to the comics to the movie. I say this movie is based on the comics. What y'all talking about? They
Yeah,
made the movie based on the comic. You can't be telling me talking some, say you didn't made a movie based on the comic. That you can't bring everything for a comic to the movie. I say they made this movie based on a comic run. Man, you can't tell me you tell
yeah,
us you can't make a movie based on a comic, and they made a movie based on an Ant-Man comic. Come on now, that just don't make no sense. That y'all be,
yeah,
that they be
yeah,
talking half the time, and 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 these be like comic book fans too, and MCU fans mix in. I keep on saying, wait a minute now, y'all try to make me
so
seem
you
like that
what?
shoot that shit I'm supposed to be the bad guy, and that's what. And y'all actually read
Yeah,
read the comic more than me.
yeah.
Ain't
So
none of y'all
why you
mad?
saying it's bad for you? No,
Yeah, yeah. Because think about for me, right? I look at a movie, I expect it to be at least close to it. Be- be-
yeah,
because think about for me, it'd be close to it. At least like Lucy or close to it, everything like that. I'll be cool with it. But the thing about it, shoot, the MCU went a whole nother way.
yeah,
They went a whole nother way with the junk. I said, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute now. Where's Ant Man at? And I was waiting on that. I said, wait a minute, where Ant Man at? Where's Ant Man? Where Hank Pym? Where's the walls?
yeah,
I was waiting on them to come in. And
yeah.
everybody tell me to also, so you being ungrateful. I say, I'm being ungrateful.
What?
Y'all should be the
I'm just seeing the version I want the live action though. Come on.
yeah. Because then the version I wanted was the Ant Man version where he made Ultron for him, just for him being like smart than everybody, and he wanted to like some kind of prevent crime from happening and stuff like that, and that would have been like good to see
Yeah,
because because think about me, what I like seeing different comic characters at least close to it, at least try to get me to like some type of thing where I can see the comic book
yeah,
character at
I
least
get it.
similar. Just give me something similar to it, and sure, I'll be happy with that. Because you give me something similar to it, I'll be glad, man. Because that's what I'll be with them. You know, that's okay. At least the character is close to it. At least the characters, everything is close to the source material and stuff like that. What I'll be
Yeah,
seeing.
we give it some closer for it. Yeah,
Yeah, because think about it, don't be telling me to some the things different because of times. I say um I don't care. It's 2050. That's what the comic book saying that Ant Man made Ultron. Y'all can't be
yeah,
telling me tell us Tony made Ultron and we can go back into the source material and know it was actually Ant Man, Hank Pym Ant Man that actually did it. And they made an Ant
yeah.
Man movie right after the Ultron movie. I say, God, and this
What's
should have made it. And this should have made an Ant Man movie before the Ultron movie just even came out.
yeah? At least make the logic how to really beat the origin to come.
Yeah, because if you look at it, they should have had Tony just going to Hank Pym just at the end of that movie, and that could have been
Yeah,
like the start of the Ultron movie and stuff like that. Based on the Citadel program that Tony wanted, the on the guard of Earth and stuff like that, different crime, and they could have used the
yeah,
Ultron program to do it, and
yeah,
that'd be a good thing, I think, in my opinion, because that's what you look at Tony and his smarts. He think that robots can just do everything if he ain't there.
yeah.
and stuff like that. And he could have used the Ultron program to try to fight that just try to fight everything.
Yep.
And that's kind of thing that I like seeing, like in the comic books come to life. Because you look at the game, the Ultron Strike Force, the Strike Force game, something like that, to do a Marvel RPG or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
They even said that on that Ant Man was the one that made Ultron. They even said it was Ant Man.
Yeah. Yeah. You use the
I
source
don't get,
media. That's good. The game different. It's weird
yeah,
how you, the
because
movie
they
don't
might
use the actor for materials.
because the thing about for me is like I don't get how rest of these all the rest of these game stuff could make probably could make a better solitary game than a Marvel Ultron did. And plus, I was mad at that. I said, "Wait a minute now, you telling me that this game know that Ultron was made by Hank Pym, but
Yeah.
put you can't put it in the movie, which don't make no sense.
Like, yeah.
Because games, everything like that, and really an Ant Man villain. He turned from an Ant Man villain onto like an Avengers villain. Be, because right in the comic books, he would keep on upgrading himself or something like that. I think so. Yeah, because think about it, he was keep on doing like a whole lot of upgrading himself. Just vibranium, which was right, but the thing is, in my opinion, some they didn't how can I say this? They didn't plan that Tony Wright and Hank Pym didn't plan for in my opinion they didn't plan for the Ultron to turn evil. They they just thought that bigger machines was the right way to do it and stuff like that. And that what I be seeing most of the time is what I think. Just dealing with the Ant Man stuff, everything like that, and deal with Avengers. If you notice that the Avengers leaders is filled with smart people that's too cocky for their own good half of the time,
Yeah.
you could look at Tony think he's too smart for his own good. Doctor Strange,
Hmm.
um, Nick Fury think he's smarter than everybody. Um, kind of like the next person I think it might be too good for their own good might be dang Reed Richards because that Reed Richards I like him but in the comic books he he worked too much in the comic book stuff and that was his problem
Yeah.
and and that was the reason why that Doctor Doom could have beat him half of the time because then about it he don't really look out for the bad guys what he doing what the bad guys be doing in the street
Yeah.
and that's like the bad thing that I noticed about him about Reed Richards. I like him. I like Reed Richards as a team member,
Like that falls.
but
Right.
yeah, and and plus he caused a whole lot of strife, and he caused problems too. He caused a whole lot of problems sometimes just for your team,
Yeah.
and that's my problem with him half of the time. He caused problems for your team. I say, God, and because think about it, Sue, his wife, didn't even like him half of the time he be working
Yeah.
in in the comic books because I keep on saying, so your own wife don't like you half. I said, oh shoot, and because he be promising people too many stuff sometimes too in the
Yeah.
comic books. He be promising people too much. Because think about for me, I would be promising nobody all them stuff because you know what I say, so you just got to wait just until I get to it. and that's
Yeah.
and that's my thing. I think, in my opinion, that under some people that feel to realize, especially heroes, so you can't do everything one day.
Yeah.
Because if you got family to go to, let's go to them. Girlfriends to go to, let's go to
Yeah.
them and spend time with them. Because be, be, because the villains don't be working all the time and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because the only person I know be working all the time was Reed Richards. Um,
Yeah.
Black Panther didn't even work all the time. He was a king,
Yeah.
and he was smarter than Reed Richards, and he didn't work all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And that should tell him something. We could not say that if the king don't work all the time, what make you think it would do you any better
Yeah.
just to work and stuff like that? Because you look at the comic books, that was the reason why. That's the reason why the Doctor Doom could have built his kingdom because right Reed Richards couldn't see it coming. Because I keep
Yeah.
on saying I say he would have been able to see it coming, then he would have been like paying attention outside of his work
Yeah.
all the time and stuff like that. And like for the X-Men's, shoot, I just want to see what Kevin Feige do with the steel and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, I'll be seeing that Sonic the Steel Man because they that would it bring the same man that wasn't Deadpool, or would it just do their own do their own version,
Mm-hmm.
do their own version of just Colossus or something like that?
Yeah.
Because then if I was Marvel, I would do my own version of just a big old Colossus. I think, in my opinion, I would do my
Right.
own version of Colossus with a variant version. I'll be cool with it, man. But just for the main universe, I would do my own. I
Mm-hmm.
would do the one that been in Fox. That this that's the universe thing. I will use the one that wasn't Deadpool be- because right doing the Fox movies, Colossus always been done right most of the time. He
Yeah.
wasn't
I
really the
find that too.
problem in the movies. The problem in the movies was
No,
they could never
the way
find.
how it's put in there for his spot to
Yeah,
go in the story.
yeah, and plus the suits wasn't right either in the movies either.
Yes.
That it was being cheap, I think, in my opinion, because them if they were used to when it was in the comic books, it would be way different. I think, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because then for me it sounds like that. Shoot, they might not like me saying it, but that's what it was way different
Yep.
and stuff like that. And that's actually a good thing. I think, in my opinion, is sound like that they gotta bring in new people to play new mutants and stuff like that. That actually be good because they need to bring in um I think they might need to bring in Gambit too because they bring in Gambit
Yeah.
that could change a whole thing. I think, in my opinion,
Right.
like in the second movie because the second movie I would bring in Jubilee, Wolverine, and Gambit in the second X
Yes.
Men movie and stuff like that. If you could choose a mutant that just to be in the X Men's movies, which mutants would you choose?
Uh. Uh. Let's start off.
Okay.
Nothing. It's joining the right. Quicksilver being right
Yeah,
in the
that
movie.
it can be in three movies. You choose any mutant to be in three movies, 3 or 4 movies. You can choose
Oh,
them.
Quicksilver is
Oh,
right. Quicksilver,
okay.
Wolverine, and Cyclops. and Mystique.
Oh, shucks. Oh, yeah. Those some good ones right there. Shoot.
Yeah,
Um, as some of the villains, I would bring in Magneto. I bring in
right.
Apocalypse, Magneto, Apocalypse, and
Alright.
and plus for the fourth movie, just for the end game, just for the MCU overall, I would bring in Mister Sinister.
Ah, awesome.
Because there for me, if they bring Mr. Sinister in inside the MCU, that would be like a big game changer just for the MCU overall. I think, in my opinion,
Yeah, I agree on that. Your opinion for yes.
because there for me, Mr. Sinister, man, he's a problem. He's a big problem just for anybody in the MCU. Unless you Hawk or something like that, that like most people, unless you Scarlet Witch or Vision, that got a whole lot of power,
Yeah, you're
you
definitely
got a
right.
problem in your hands.
Yeah,
Because think about it, didn't they take the Avengers and some of the X-Men to beat Mr. Sinister of the comic books? It took a lot of people
yeah,
to, to beat him because they he can steal people powers or something like that, and
for sure. Some of yeah,
that was
yeah,
actually like because like the only person that could have been on one was Apocalypse, the first mutant.
yeah,
That was the only person that could have did it. Because like the only reason why he beat Mr. Sinister, I think, is just because he wanted to be the only person with the power of
yeah,
Apocalypse. Because shoot, he only beat him for his own selfish reasons
yeah,
and stuff like that. It wasn't good selfish reasons, but it's still a selfish overall reason why he did it. But shoot, I didn't care.
yeah,
But I just didn't care though because you know what I said that as long as he gone, Sinister gone, shoot, I was good at it. I was good with it because think
yeah,
about it, Mr. Sinister is a problem, man.
yeah,
Because you look at it as a whole, Mr. Sinister is one of them bad guys who you don't want to live once you have them down and stuff like that,
yeah,
everything like that. And based on it, in my opinion, based on the other villains I'll be seeing, mm, um, Mr. Sinister right now is a better villain more than the whole MCU, in my opinion.
yeah.
Right now,
I agree on it. Yes, yeah,
because anybody that's in chat that disagree with it, y'all can put it in the comment section on the chat. But think about me, Mr. Sinister is the best villain that can come out right now just in the MCU. But the thing about it, we got Kang though. And the thing about it, that the man that writing Kane, I'm not sure if Kane powers is gonna be explained up in the Avengers movies.
yeah,
Because thing about it, up in the Ant-Man movie, they could even explain on the reason why he could have blast throughout his hands. It was no type of explanations, it, just by his power set. And that's kind of like the bad thing that I got right now dealing with it. And that's kind of like a bad thing what I'm seeing. That deal with the MCU is sound like the MCU right villains. The villains be good, but the thing is, they don't explain that the villains' powers. Because like in Iron Man, you always could do in that one in Iron Man. You can always explain Iron
mm-hmm.
Man powers. They could explain Iron Man villains powers, everything like that. I say, God, dog. I said, God, all these villains and stuff got powers. Because you look at phase 1, 2, and 3, you can always tell. that there was it was explained the reason why they were villains. It was explained about their powers, everything like that. But then about it, you look at villains now that's in phase 4 and 5, they don't even explain their powers unless you Namor or something like that. And even Namor villain thing was cutting wrong. Because you look at some of the Ant-Man villain stuff, everything like that I'll be seeing, none of the Ant-Man villains powers just was really explained in Ant-Man quantum realm stuff.
Yeah,
Be,
agree. Yeah,
because think about it, cause think about it, nobody ever explained Modok powers. Nobody explained King powers either throughout that movie. Should they just be saying like he was an intimidated enemy?
yeah. Well, but
But
how?
then,
What? Just become determined.
yeah, because then shoot, I want to see how he turned into Modok, the from Love Jacket, which don't make no sense in my opinion. Because shoot, because the Modok person is like a whole different person. It's a scientist.
He's smart. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And you telling me it's the love jacket. They made him a joke though, which I didn't like.
yeah,
They made him a joke, and people was teasing it all day on TikTok and stuff. I said, God, though, and that's the bad thing.
yeah,
And like for the Skyclops, I want to see like the X-Men's, everything like that. It's like this Skyclops right here. I want to see. He got the serious face. He know how to mark out orders, everything. He do with it,
yeah,
and that's kind of stuff I like doing. And that's that. And kind of like for me, in my opinion, like deal with Skyclops. Skyclops was a playboy as well, and they don't really show that side of him. He
yeah.
was like a silent player or something like that. He was a silent type of leader, stuff like
Currently,
that
that's
most of the
not that
time.
person, but good leader. Yeah,
Yeah, because look at he went with Emma, he went with Jean, he went with a whole lot of people really in the comic books,
yeah,
and they don't even show that side of him most of the time. They just show him just going after Jean. I say, y'all do know that Skyclops had more than one girlfriend at the time. Did
yeah,
he be with the X-Men's? And that's the kind of thing that I don't like half the time dealing with the Marvel, because shoot, it seems like Marvel dumbed down certain parts of history. Deal
yeah.
with
I agree.
the deal with certain characters, what it seems like to me.
How to accurate? Yeah,
Yep, yep. And kind of like the bad thing for me dealing with Skyclops and shoot, I want them to cast somebody who looked like who could be a leader and who looked like who could be like a skilled fighter. Because if you look at it, Skyclops could actually fight, and he actually be fighting with Wolverine with his eye blast most of the time.
yeah,
And they say that Skyclops' eyes is sound like another world or something like that, like an issue or something that they say that his lasers lead to another world where people with powers live at. I say, really? But
right.
I keep
Yeah,
that it was kind of confusing when I heard that, but it was kind of good at the same time though seeing it. But the thing about for me is something like how will Marvel tell just what the X-Men was at the whole time, just what Thanos was taking over the Earth
yeah,
and taking over the galaxies and stuff like that. Because think about the X-Men wasn't out doing, they was doing Loki, Ultron, Thanos, his since people down there and the X Men wasn't there. I think
Yes.
the next X Men might be coming through a portal or something like that. Because they like that is the show I hype for. It's a show is kind of new.
Yeah. Yeah. For people. Yeah.
The show is actually good in my opinion.
Or you
Y'all
like
can
it?
agree or disagree, but the Peacemaker season one was actually a good show though. But
Yeah, I agree on that.
that's
Yeah.
in my opinion that this Peacemaker show is actually a good one. Oh yeah, Barcode.
Yes.
That did you like it better than the Marvel shows that you've seen so far?
Yes. Very good. Better than the Marvel shows. I mean, the acting is good. Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of like the person that has surprised me the most was John Cena throughout the show.
Yeah. The
Because
Rock.
you look
Yeah.
at
I mean, John C. Sorry. Yeah, I'm so tired.
and
Yeah.
that because you look at the John Cena character actually had grown be, because like in Suicide the movie he was willing to kill anybody just with no question asked. But just throughout the show he was
Yeah.
willing to ask questions.
The deep question from. Yeah.
He was willing to ask questions and everything like that. And that's kind of like development by light because you look at the Marvel shows, half of them characters been in the universe for just for years, and you telling me that you can't write a good story based on characters that you know and
Yeah.
that's seen on screen for years,
Yeah. Plus the
and
acting
they
is
don't
very good
even
too. Yeah.
because think about for me, it's not like shoot they need to make the show good just for Riri. But think about it,
Yeah.
the Riri character suck at first. Her
Yeah.
first run was not a good run just for Riri or
Yeah.
something
Very
like
true on
that.
that.
Because think about it, you look at her early years of being Riri. She was worse than the bad guys. She was a worse friend than some
Yeah.
bad people. I said, wait a minute. So you leave your friend out the hang and stuff like that? So you wouldn't start trouble, everything else like that? And
Uh,
and that's kind of thing that I guess on my nerves half of the time. Because you willing to start trouble, you willing to do all this, everything else like that, and no, you can't even do your stuff right in school and need friends anyway.
yeah.
And she is actually a bad friend in my opinion, though.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And kind of like I got a tier list to all the Marvel movies. Oh, I got a tier list to all the Marvel movies and stuff like that. Because like the Marvel movies, like I know supposed to be That's actually good ones, I think, in my opinion. And kind of like for me, in my opinion about it, is that was actually good ones, I think too. I like too.
Which one?
The Marvel stuff like it's something like that. And some of
Okay.
the stuff I'll be seeing for I've seen it for I think mine is the ones that I like is let me see. Ooh, they got the Spider Mans, they got Shang-Chi,
Yeah. Sonic
got
Shiver, yeah. Sonic Shiver, yeah.
you got ranking for the same
Sorry, repeat.
because like for me, shoot, some of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man is actually good.
Yeah. Some of it, Super Spider-Man, good, yeah.
I got Spider-Man 1. I got that. Shoot, I like Spider-Man 1, but Spider-Man 1 is and just be that good too. And the actor was actually good.
Right.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Spider-Man 2, you got that S8. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, those two was actually S's. Yeah. Um, what Captain Marvel, I got that as average movie. That is a bad movie. I put that as C. That's not A or B.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
nobody,
but that potential,
and
but some else,
nobody,
yeah.
and nobody should be arguing just for that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very bad.
Come
I
on,
agree, it's very
be be
bad.
be
Yeah,
because you can't argue for this movie to be A or B or just even S. You can't really
yeah,
argue
she
that.
finished it, but yeah,
And kind of Spider-Man 3, I like you, but you got to be B because
yeah,
you was the worst at the 3. I put him at B.
yeah,
B because in the third Spider-Man movie, it was cool, but the thing is like so you still could have tell that the studio had rushed the director to make the movie. You still can tell
yeah, and so for
the
yeah,
stuff like that in the Spider-Man.
yeah,
It could have been better. It could have been better if Sony didn't rush um Sam Raimi to make the movie.
Yeah, I remember
and
never.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Um, Let me see. On the Incredible Hulk movie, I give that one an A. I actually like that movie. He was
yeah. I like
actually
it too,
closest to
sir.
the Hulk that we want to see. I give that one an
Yeah,
A. And Black Widow, I like you, but you just a B tier movie.
yeah,
It, it's not an A, but just a B. It's just good.
yeah. But he's not
Um,
counted this Taskmaster for him.
yeah, yeah. Sound like let me see. Amazing Spider-Man 1, I give that one a C. It's not it's it's just an average movie.
Yeah, I see. It, yeah,
Because like Andrew Garfield wasn't the problem. It was the writing throughout the movie was the problem with it. Was some of the stuff I had a
yeah.
problem with
I agree on that. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, everyone. Me, it's everyone. I mean,
because the movie could have been better, but
yeah.
it was bad
It's the writing how
though.
it's put into it.
Yeah. Ant-Man 1, I like the movie, but I get Ant-Man
I
1 an
agree.
A.
Yeah.
That, that,
Yep.
that,
It makes sense
that's
though.
the best one.
At least makes sense in the how to watch it work for it.
Yeah. Oh shucks. Cause think about it, everything in the comics shouldn't be in the movie. Because shoot, you
Yeah.
put in the comics just for shock value, but you don't put it on
Yeah.
screen
Yeah.
if it just don't make sense to the movie.
Yeah.
And killing Gwen Stacy
It's wrong. Yeah.
did not make sense in the movie.
No, it just yeah from the comic. What? Come on, seriously.
Yeah, it came from the comics, but thing is, that was one of the most hated comics because they killed Gwen Stacy. I say, why
Yeah.
why would you make a movie based on the most hated comic in Spider-Man history, one of the most hated comics, because they killed Gwen Stacy? I say that's dumb.
What? Yeah, and plus the chemistry is good. And Mary J. Though, I mean, be honest. Gwen Stacy with Peter is better than Mary J. Walking first.
Yeah, but the thing about it, it was other Peter Parkers that didn't have Mary Jane as a wife or a girlfriend and some of that up
Yeah,
in
for
other
sure.
universes. If they wanted to
And
do that,
yeah, whatever.
they,
You should do that. Yeah.
if they wanted to do that, they just should have said that just doing the press screening and stuff like that. They want to have
Yeah.
other girlfriends besides Mary Jane that wasn't the same Remy one. If they want to go a different way, they should just say it.
Yeah.
And so like let me see. Um Let me see. Shoot. The Spider-Man with the Peter Parker one, I give that one a B. It's not an A movie, but it's a B.
Like, yeah. I got that for
And Homecoming is just a B movie.
yeah, I
It's
see.
not an A movie, but it's B. It's it's good enough. It's just better than C movies, but it's good enough though.
Yeah. At least it's some
Um,
good stuff, I suppose, for it.
and that movie right there, Spider-Man No Way Home, that's kind of the best one they had. I give that one an A
Yeah.
because of the Green Goblin. That's the only reason why I'm going at there.
Yep.
Green
Yeah,
Goblin and
definitely.
Doctor Octopus. That's the only reason why I put it that high.
Yeah. It was Esther. It was funny how they filmed the time movie before they died for it.
Yeah, that
I mean, yeah.
Doctor Strange actually explained it in one sentence, and that was the good part. Doctor Strange
Yeah.
did the explanations just for everybody to be able to follow.
Yeah.
And why didn't Ant-Man do it? Ant Ant-Man had people that
Mm-hmm.
actually live in that dimension that could explain
Yeah.
time. They didn't do it. I don't get it. You in a whole nother world. They can explain time you to them. They can explain time to you.
Yep.
Just how time work and stuff like that. I don't get it. I just don't get how Marvel just gonna put just one line in there, that's telling you what happened in the quantum realm
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That the Thor one movie, that's a B. It's just a good enough movie.
Yeah. For
It
Thor.
it
Yeah.
oh man, shoot. I'm trying to get the all just all the average movies out the way first.
Right.
Oh man, shoot. All right, let me see now. Iron Man one, it's a S. Iron Man one is a S. That that was the one of the best movies in Marvel history anyway. Iron Man one,
Right.
his origin came from a cave, rising up.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's how he
And
do
one of the
stuff.
best. Yeah.
Because think about it, if there's anybody on TikTok and YouTube who try to say that movie not an S, it gotta have to explain it to me up in the comment section or just in a live stream or something like that. It gotta explain that to me. 'Cause you can't really say that Iron Man's not an S.
Yeah.
Iron Man Thor is not it's not a real bad movie, but it's just an average stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. For Thor Ragnarok one. Yeah.
I give you as it just beat man. Those movies wasn't bad, but it just wasn't as good as the other ones.
Right.
Let me see. Captain America one. I give that one a B.
Yeah.
It was a good movie, but I can't put it as A or S. Cause A or S mean that thing got to be good. Just from beginning to end emotionally,
Yeah.
and kind of was good though. Captain America Winter Soldier. I give that one an A. Wait a minute. Yeah. Winter Soldier. I give that one an A.
Right.
And Guardians of the Galaxy. I give that one a B. It 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 might be some people on TikTok who might got a problem with that, but that movie is not all that as people over
Say it was.
overhype that movie.
Yeah.
Because people people overhype the Guardian series and stuff like that. The Guardian series is good, but you can't put it as an A or S series time for movies. Stuff like that. It's just a good fun movie for people to enjoy, but it's just a cool movie. That's it. And Guardians 2, I got that as an A. Because the second one was a more serious. It had a better story and everything, in my opinion. And Guardians
Right.
2.
Yeah. Yeah. Understood. Yeah.
And plus the Avengers movie. Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Iron Man 2, I got that under B. Yep. It was
Yeah.
cool, but it's a B.
I agree on that for you. Yeah.
Mm. On the Thor Ragnarok, bad movie. It's just a bad Thor movie. I put it as C.
Mm-hmm.
It's down there.
Yeah.
That is not a good Thor movie. And some people online got the nerve to say that they got the best. This is the best Thor movie out the series. I say, excuse me. You try to say that Thor Ragnarok with all these jokes is one of the best series. It's one of the best movies in the MCU. Somebody must be high. Cause sure, I was man. I said, really? You got that? I mean, I was mad, bro. Because I was an Iron Man director, Captain America director, Black Panther, all of them, and you try to say that Thor that wasn't as serious as one of your best movies, man.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Let me see. The Avengers, the first one, I give that one an S.
Yeah.
That
I agree.
that was a good movie all around. That was an all around good movie. You
For,
can't really argue that.
yeah, I agree on that. For that's different. First Avengers movie for
Yeah. Sound like Shang-Chi. I like the movie, but that one I got to put it at B. Because think about it,
yeah,
if it seemed to be more to be about the sister and everybody else more than him. But the movie was good though. That's not the problem. His movie was good, but the thing is, the movie was supposed to be about him.
yeah,
Putting his skills up and something like that. Something like Iron Man, Captain America,
yeah,
and everyone else did throughout the movie. Ant Man, Ant Man the Wasp. I put that one on C.
yeah,
Some of the some, some of the story that makes sense.
yeah,
I like the villain that had ghosts. That wasn't a problem. Some of the writing and the villains just didn't know this
yeah.
dumb stuff. Seemed like oh shoot, Ultron. Okay, it's not a bad movie, but I put it at B.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Oh, shucks, these when the big ones come in.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, I put it on A. The first one.
Yeah.
Oh man, shoot. Um, Black Panther, I give that one the S. The first one's the
You know
S.
what? It's the first one. Essay.
That no,
Options.
yeah, the first one. The first one's the S because they had good story.
Yeah, the first one.
The villain story makes sense. The hero story makes sense, and you can actually understand both sides. The, the reason why they was there. Ooh, let me see. Civil War. I give it a S because like the introduction of Black Panther was good. They were fighting over freedom, just over the chords and stuff like that. They went on the sign. Captain America say no. Iron Man say yes. It was like two different points of views in one movie, and you can follow on both of them, which was actually a bonus for me too, doing that movie. Because the action was good and the story was good in the writing. Let me see. Oh shoot. I put Endgame. I put Infinity War under S because it was good,
Yeah, on my end.
and Endgame I put under S too. Because like for anybody that's asking the reason why I put these as it is, um, I put Ant Man the Wasp under C because that just made average movies that wasn't good and just ain't make sense to a point to the character. Thor, the Thor Ragnarok, it just didn't make no sense. And plus, it wasn't a Thor movie. It was seeing like it said in that movie it was two or three. two or three different movies. Seemed like, in my opinion, what it seemed like it was. In my opinion, what it seemed like it was two different movies and stuff like that. In my opinion, seemed like what it was. In my opinion, but in Spider Amazing 2 and 1, um, it was good, but it could have been better. It was actually good, in my opinion. That the Amazing Spider-Man 1 could have been good, but were bad in other ones too, in my opinion. And it seemed like the other ones that I would like is the Captain Marvel movie could have been better, but it seemed like, in my opinion, they want to go political in her movie, which was the oh, because you look at her movies, the big old political movies that they did in Captain Marvel, they went
Yeah.
political just instead of writing a good story in
So
Marvel movie, which I didn't like
yeah,
about it.
yeah, because yeah,
And kind of like for B for a movie that's real good in my opinion, but it just wasn't excellent or a masterpiece or something like that.
it needs some improvement.
Well,
Yeah, it needs to improve
yeah,
the story.
yeah, it could be an improvement to it. Cap Ultron movie, that the Avengers, there's the Avengers, the Ultron, the Age of Ultron. It could have been better,
Right.
because that
Yeah.
Ultron movie could have been a 2-part movie. That could have been a two
Enjoy it.
part.
Right.
It
The first
that
part had been introduced to get create him, but yeah,
Yeah, because you could look at it, that could have been a 2-part movie, j- just to get people ready to have 2-part movies. Something like Infinity War and Endgame was. They could have did it for
yeah,
Ultron. It just make him a better villain and stuff like that. But they didn't want to do that.
yeah,
The thing about it, Shang-Chi, I like the movie, but the thing, if you look at it, it's seeing the movie try to spread out to everybody else, just
yeah,
just to set to the star of the movie.
mm,
Shang-Chi,
yeah,
that's the kind of thing that I didn't like. It was kind of holding it back, in my opinion. It was. And Life
yeah,
for Iron Man
definitely,
2. Yeah, and Life for Iron Man 2. I like Iron Man 2, but it's just not an A or S movie.
yeah, needs to improve on the story for it.
Yeah, and Guardians 1. Guardians 1 was a cool movie, but the ending killed it for me. Why
Yeah,
why is you dancing? They're just trying to
yeah,
distract. And
yeah,
if
what?
and everybody in the world is making excuses the reason why they were dancing. Because I looking at it, I say, you do know that Star Lord is is
Particularly, so
yeah, part human, part alien.
oh yeah,
And
for that
you
facility, yeah, it's yeah,
and you try to tell me and you try to tell me the best you got, Kevin Feige, was him dancing? Was him
seriously, what?
because we know that wasn't James Gunn idea. Because we know James Gunn is willing to it, it and just willing to fight if you give him
Yeah,
freedom to. And that's how I know that was a Kevin Feige or plus the Disney decision that just to make him
yeah,
dance just for the kids, just for the kids be able to understand, which I didn't like. You know what I say? Freak them kids because the
yeah,
kids is be, because the kids playing Call of Duty, the kids playing Devil May Cry. Come on now,
yeah, yeah,
man, them kids can take some blood.
yeah,
Come on now, be,
yeah,
be,
for sure that
be,
happened.
be, because shoot, these are the main kids that be cursing in Call of Duty,
Yeah,
Apex Legends, and Fortnite. These
yeah,
are the same kids that be shooting. and
Yeah.
cursing you out when they lose and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
And Disney got nerve to say to something. They just kids, you know what I say?
Yeah.
Go to a lounge in Call of Duty. Go to a lounge in Apex Legends. Go to
Yeah.
Fortnite and just have a headphone in your head. And then you tell me Disney it the kids are not.
Yeah.
And you would say no. It sounded like the first Captain America movie. I like the first Captain America movie, but it was certain parts. It was too. It went on certain parts that it as some kind of parts of the movie, Captain America movie,
Yeah.
when it just didn't explain
Mhm.
that the reason why Hugo Weave wanted to destroy the Earth. That they
Yeah.
said at the last minute
Mhm.
because he was announcing or something like that he wanted to take over the
Mhm.
world and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But the thing is, the movie could have been better than the first one, Captain America. It was a good movie, but I couldn't put it under A or S though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Iron Man, Iron Man 3. That Iron Man 3 just been like a big blockbuster type movie just to end the series. I think
Right. Yeah.
it wasn't like a story behind it. It was like a little bit of a story, and they
It's a
just
more action.
yeah,
It's
it was
more
more
action than story for it. Yeah.
yeah. And but the thing about it on Door of the Dark World, they could have built them elves up a lot better
Yeah.
in Door of the Dark World. That it built it up some. It was kind of good, but some of the built up they did. But the thing is it seemed like the big old directors don't know the Thor character. Seemed like in my opinion,
Yeah.
because like the only one because of the only Thor movie that close to being Thor, just was Thor one,
Yeah.
and, and people didn't like Thor one because they said it was boring. I said, wait a minute now, people. Thor one is not a boring movie. You got to actually look at the movie. You got to actually critical think about the character origins and stuff like that. Come
Yeah.
on now. It, and kind of seemed like Marvel trying to like speed up the Thor franchise just by doing Dark World and stuff like that. J-
Right.
Just instead of them built up the elves up in the after credits.
Mhm.
What they should have done after the first one, but they didn't. It just pop up. I say, God,
Yeah.
dog, if they would
Mhm.
just tease the under L's and stuff like that, just at the end of the Thor one movie, that would have bring more hype to the second one. I think, in my
Yeah.
opinion, and put against Spider-Man: Homecoming. This me, I said, I keep on saying, how is Peter Parker still not confident in himself?
Yeah.
Because you gotta work with Iron Man, you gotta work with Hulk, Captain America, all these heroes that give you that they give you confidence or something like that when you see them. They give you a pep talk. They keep on telling him he's doing good. And you telling him Homecoming, he still got confidence issues? Come on, man, that just don't
Yeah.
make no sense. But you, Spider Man, man, come on now, you supposed to have some type of confidence or something. How
Yeah.
you
At least for
be, 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 because of the Peter Parker that we saw, shoot, he came and talked to a girl.
yeah.
He been told he could have talked to Mary Jane
Yeah.
as a neighbor and stuff. He even just could do that because you look at Spider Man 2 with
Yeah.
just with Jake Gyllenhaal. I hate
Mhm.
to say it, Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio, and him carry that movie. He carried that second Tom Holland Spider Man movie. He did carry it.
Yeah.
Be, be, because that movie just was based on why was the elementals popping up, everything like that.
Right.
And just when I saw the big old elementals and stuff pop up, I knew that jump was Mysterio. based on the animation cartoon they had, what he can do, and kind of like for the Black Widow movie could have been better, but they
Right.
made Taskmaster a lady. I said, wait a minute, now Taskmaster is a man because we could look at the Taskmaster used to be an ex, at just an ex Shield member. He
Right.
should, and kind of like for Black Widow couldn't even I don't know what he went through, everything like that. Black Widow, everything
Right.
like that. And she couldn't have no kids, which we found wasn't true. Did with the animation show because you do the animation show, she had a daughter, I think, in the animation
Yeah.
show.
Sure. Sure.
But the thing about it, who was the father though? That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it probably was Tony. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Tony's daughter. Because we know Tony is just a playboy
Yeah.
most of the time. And
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man 3 came out so much better, but Sony had ruined that jump just by
Right.
rushing. I say, God, that movie could have been better. It's still better than Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 though.
Yeah.
And time for the movies that airs, the airs movies that is good, everything like that. The movies is good. I like the movies.
Yeah.
Dealing with they're dealing with the movie stuff like that. Everything else like that. The the Doctor Strange 1 movie surprised me.
Yeah. Because I watch. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing about it, just seeing the animation and transfer it into live action, I did not know what to expect just until I saw the trailer in the movie. It was good.
Yeah.
Be, be, because like the next thing I want to see for the third Doctor Strange movie, I want to see Doctor Strange train other people
Yeah.
just for magic powers. Because we know in Marvel history, it's like Doctor Strange had at school that actually had trained his wife. He trained his wife too as well, I think, in the comic book,
Yeah.
and that'd be a good thing. And Guardians Volume 2 is better than 1,
Yeah.
and that might not be popular to say. Just knowing that the Marvel fans stuff like that, every time you
As an
ask
opinion.
people, yeah, their opinion on the Guardians series, they always say the first one better than the second one. I say,
What
um, that
now?
have y'all suckers see the ending of Guardians 1?
Yeah.
It wasn't even emotional enough like that. It wasn't seeing like you could skip 1 and just go straight to 2 if you want.
Yep. Just ignore one. Just go to the second.
Yeah, because you look at Guardians 2, Guardian Galaxy 2, it was emotional moments with his father that raised him. I think
Yeah.
had given him the oxygen or something like that, and he sacrificed his life to save Quill, stuff like that. Everything like that.
Yeah.
He sacrificed his life for his. He would fight Ego, his father. He would go into emotional stuff in
Yeah.
Guardians too. Peter Quill, and plus he found out that the cancer wasn't natural; it was Ego, something like that. That did it. That
Right.
gives his mama cancer because he thought Peter Quill wouldn't turn out to be a half god or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something, because he thought Peter Quill was a disappointment when he saw him. I said, "Oh
Yeah.
shoot!" Ego was, in my opinion, he was more ruthless than Thanos. I think, in my opinion, if you look at Evil for Evil in Guardians 2, Ego, he was actually more ruthless because that's what he was giving people cancer for no reason.
Yeah.
He giving out cancers. He was killing people for no reason. But I said, God, no,
Yeah.
so he worse than Thanos. That up in the MCU, and he was. And they were Captain America Winter Soldier. That was one of the best Captain America movies. The second one. The thing about that was actually good in my opinion. That was actually good. I like it because that's what I like the way the winter the Winter Soldier was like introduced.
Right.
I had like him. The Winter Soldier was introduced in a good way, in my opinion. And Nick Fury was good in that movie. Samuel Jackson was.
Yeah.
I actually like him in that movie. And plus, the other thing I like in the movie was the action scenes. The action scene in that movie was it's one of the best action scenes I think I see in Marvel to this day. Though the Winter Soldier Captain America fight, I said, God, dog,
Yeah.
that hand to hand fight was good, man. I said, God, dog,
Yeah.
that's so good. And plus, like for Captain America, and far as Spider Man No Way Home,
Right.
the only reason why that movie is this high up because of Green Goblin and Doctor Octopus,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And kind of like in my opinion, and why would Aunt May go to the same building when you know your son is with four villains? Why are you
Yeah.
going over the phone?
Yeah. Why though? Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah. The logic for it.
Because you look at Toby Aunt May, she wouldn't even do it just for one villain,
Nope.
and she was even scared for like Toby just to fight one villain just by himself,
Yeah.
just trying to save the city.
Yeah.
And and why couldn't she do the same thing that what Toby Aunt May did?
Yeah.
Just try to call from a distance
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and that would have made sense. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Be, be, because that just me, right? Yeah, so I just went Aunt May and stuff like that. Oh, that just me. That just me being like that. That I just use my common sense because you got Electro, Doctor Octopus, and everybody else like that around you,
Right.
and you try to tell me to over there. Sure, I'm gonna tell my son, be careful, and just don't trust nobody.
Yeah.
So that just me. That just I would do. Sound like the first Ant Man movie. The first Ant Man movie was actually good. I like that one. It was good. I actually like it. It was cool too. It was actually a cool Ant Man movie though,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It was actually a cool Ant Man movie. And kind of like the other one, that on the Hawk movie, that's what Edward Norton made. Because then, in my opinion, shoot, uh, I think they just recast them be, because they know that Edward Norton would not have let the MCU get away and changing the Hawk
Right.
character too much.
Yeah.
And be because you look at Edward Norton, what he doing with the Hawk character. But Professor Hawk is not the problem we got. Our problem is it sound like so you don't even let the other Hawk comes out. This original one because that we all know the longer that he fight, the more that original Hawk still would come out. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
He would still come back to the Professor talking Hawk just after the battle over. But that's what during the fight, bring out the original Hawk with his full strength. That would make
Yeah.
sense, and that could have been like a compromise in the middle, in my opinion. That the big old Professor Hawk is just your base form,
Right.
and just let the original Hawk come out. Just when you face enemies, that's kind of hard and hard and stuff like that. It's based on levels of enemies. Because if you
Yeah.
look at shoot, Professor Hawk still can beat certain enemies by himself. But the thing about the enemies that's real powerful, so you can't really do that.
Yeah.
Just for Professor Hawk. You have to do it with the original Hawk. That's real big. The 2008 Hawk was actually smart too. If you look at it, he was starting to control that Hawk if you look at it.
Yeah. Right.
Because you look at the end of that 2008 Hawk movie, he knew how to aim it. He knew how to aim the Hawk anger that just to like the hunting on the government stuff like that try to kill him.
Yeah.
And like for the S movies is good. That I like Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1 is still one of the best original Spider-Man movies to come out. And this in 2002, I think they came out. I think 2002 was the first one, 2003 and 4 was the second one, and the third one's actually B. But
Right.
but the thing about it, those was real good. Spider-Man was based on the source material,
Yeah.
and Toby, in my opinion, actually good. In my opinion, that's actually an S movie
Yeah.
because they might sure you can't argue with Spider-Man 1 not being an S movie. You can't argue with that. And Spider-Man 2 is also an S movie too because if you look at it, the big old Doctor Octopus had learned like he can't put people's lives in dangers, and Octopus too that he want Joe for experiments stuff like that.
Yeah.
In order to save people, he had to sacrifice himself. But the thing is, he had to do it though, just in order to make sure that he saved the people in his family at the same time. And Iron Man 1 is one of the best MCU movies, I think, as an origin.
Right.
That's one of the best ones I've seen. And kind of like the first Avengers movie. The first Avengers movie is actually good. It's an excellent first Avengers movie. I think, in my opinion, this being Marvel first Avengers movie is actually good. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. I remember.
And like for other people who think that the Avengers movie one is not good, they must don't know that on the
That is
Avengers
a story
system.
for it.
Yeah,
How it works for it.
yep, and that's actually good. Because at first they didn't even get along. I said, God, no.
Yeah.
Would they ever get along? Just try to save the universe, but they did and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And that's actually was a good thing. That's what I like to see. The dealing heroes and stuff like that. And kind of like in my opinions and stuff like that, dealing with the movies and shows. I actually like the Black Panther 1 movie. That actually was a good, well-rounded movie, in my opinion. So like people might agree, people might not agree. That's a well-rounded movie. The Black Panther movie, it is, and that was some people, yeah, just don't realize some of the time. That's actually a real good movie, the Black Panther one,
Right. Yeah.
and kind of like the other one I like seeing is like yeah, I like seeing in my opinion. The second one is not as good as the first.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the first though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like on
Never.
Civil
Never.
War. Kind of like the Civil War movie remind me of the Ultimate Alliance.
Right. Yeah.
It reminded me of the Ultimate Alliance game that they had and stuff like that. And that just sound like it's some people that just don't say the amount of Ultimate Alliance. Look at
Right.
Sokovia Accords. That up in the game, it was named the Register
Yeah.
under the Register Act up in the Ultimate Alliance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And plus, like up in the movie, it called the Sokovia Accord because of Ultron doing and stuff like that. They just
Yeah.
changed the name, but it's the same thing. That
Yeah.
was something, in my opinion, that just don't realize it's the same thing and stuff like that. It's the same thing, stuff like that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it just got a different name to it, and that just me, in my opinion, is what I think of it and stuff like that. In my opinion, that's why I think it could be good or bad. But then, but for me, I think it's actually a good thing that for the Civil War movie to be good as well as it is. Because think about for me, I think Tony was wrong. That that Jeff would try to make people sign a Russia Act that
Yeah,
you. And the bad thing about it, he didn't sign it.
yeah,
He didn't even sign the Russia Act. He didn't sign
pretty much.
Shakur thing because he thought some he couldn't sign it, but he did sign it. I didn't see it and stuff like that. He sure didn't show it. If he did sign because didn't Tony have some kind of exemption? The reason why he
Yeah,
couldn't sign it,
yeah,
and that was kind of backwards in my opinion because that's what I keep on saying. I said wait a minute now you want everybody else to sign the on the Russia Act, but you didn't sign it yourself. I wouldn't be signing that junk.
yeah,
And Captain America and Captain America was telling some everybody should be free to make their own choice. It's time for it. If they want to register or not, and everything else like that. In my opinion, that that would and he ended up being right up in Infinity War too. Of
yeah,
everybody just having a choice, and sound like the Avengers Infinity War. That was that was a good part one, just to an ending of a phase. And put the Avengers Endgame was actually good too. I actually like that too.
yeah. I agree on that. Yeah,
It, though was a good 2-part movie, I think, in my opinion.
yeah,
Um, it just the in the first three phases that was the end of a good era, I think. Before Phase 4 came in and messed it up,
right. Yeah,
and that Ant Man movie might have messed up Endgame and Infinity War too,
yeah,
and that's the bad thing too about it. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. I think that Ant Man Quantum Realm movie messed up a whole lot of Phase 3 stuff when it
yeah.
said
And retcon stuff too. So yeah,
and and that's a bad thing. I think, in my opinion, that's actually bad. What I
yeah,
don't like, and 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 kind of like they got articles saying some people some people leaving, some people got fired and stuff like that. Just for the Marvel Studio, I say, you can fire people all you want to, but that's what if your writing is not good, firing people just won't solve it.
yeah,
And that's kind of thing that other people don't get. You can fire all who you want to, but that's what if the writing not good, firing people just won't do no better.
yeah,
I think, in my opinion, it won't because you might not like me saying it, but that's what it won't do no better if you try to fire people and stuff like that. In my opinion, but
mm,
but the thing about me, in my opinion, I would like to see like how would like the Fantastic Four fit in with some of these with some of these heroes because so we know that Reed Richards got he got a big ego, Reed Richards,
yeah,
and stuff like that, and that was the kind of thing, in my opinion, that probably can mess them up in the future if Reed Richards' attitude. Because think about it, you think about it, Kane got an attitude too, and he think he's smarter than everybody. I say if Reed
yeah,
Richards and Kane e- end up meeting up, that's gonna be a problem.
yeah,
That's gonna be a problem in times for smarts and stuff like that. Because think about it, if Kane end up our smart and Reed Richards, and he might, that probably can cause a great breach in trust. I think some of that within the Avengers and plus the Fantastic Four.
mm,
Because you remember up in the movie Doctor Strange No Way Home or something like that, second Doctor Strange
Yeah.
movie. Who caused who caused the big old Illuminati to go down? It was Mr. Fantastic Big Mouth. I say, God, duh, your Big Mouth caused
Yeah.
this whole thing.
Yeah.
Be, be, because damn, like she did not know damn boy
Use the power.
black boy voice thing just until he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
I say,
Yeah.
God, duh, that that is your that is your problem, man. Come on, man. You can't be telling the enemy what your power
Your
is.
power. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then he just reveal it. I say, God, duh. I was mad too.
Stupid.
I said, God, duh. That
You
he was
will
a
put
bad
power that
leader.
you use against you. Come on. Don't use that logic for it. Let's keep it
Yeah,
to yourself.
yeah. They keep that junk to yourself because if you look at it, Wanda knew nothing about Black Bolt. She knew nothing about him, and they could have used that to their advantage. That
Yeah.
just try to slow her down and stuff like that, or capture her or something. They could have used his frequency voice just to capture Wanda. They could have used it
Yeah.
because I was looking at them. I said, "Wait a minute now." I said, I keep on saying, wait a minute now."
Yeah.
She know nothing about the voice. He can switch it into like a non-lethal voice just to slow her down and stuff like that and capture. Come on now, that would have been good.
Yeah.
But Reed Richards, his ego, tell us something. Um, we got
Yeah.
somebody just as powerful as you. I said, God, though. I,
Why?
I,
You
I,
keep it strong. You don't. You suck at your job. Just don't be the hero. Come.
yeah, that's your job is not to say nothing. I keep on looking at that. I keep on saying, I keep on saying to myself, during history, who ever tell somebody about power set. And kind
Yeah.
of like the bad
Super
thing,
hurt.
not even Zordon did it to Rita.
Yeah.
And that's the bad thing about it. Zordon didn't give
Yeah.
up on the power set he had give up to the people. He didn't did it. And
Yeah.
he was a head inside a bubble. And he wasn't dumb enough to do it. And Reed Richards,
Yeah.
the only one in history, the
Yeah. Smart
only
one. You
one
be
in
smart
history
man.
that
Make
dumb enough.
idiots.
Yeah. And some people online that just try to say, such such Wanda still would kill him. I say no, she wouldn't that kill him. That Reed Richards wanted to open his big mouth. That if he wanted to open his big mouth and Wanda wouldn't to know nothing. So we all know this. Be,
Yeah.
because she can't read minds that good anyway. Because we know this.
Yeah.
Because she too emotional.
Yeah.
She too emotional to read minds. And that could have
Yeah.
been a big surprise. I say, God,
Yeah.
dog. It, it had to be him. It had to be the first dumb person in history who ever tell a secret about their partner crimes and
Yeah.
power
Lie
set.
on you. Like, she's against me easy to the hero. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, man, that just don't make no sense in my opinion. That just don't make sense.
Yeah.
And that Les was Marvel pushing their MCU agenda, just saying how dumb he is to say his powers.
Like seriously. Yeah.
It could have been the agenda thing that they was pushing, but shoot, that's still a
Yeah.
dumb
For
dumb.
sure. This is make a ultimate version of the character when you suck at the character. Come on. They make a good version to be in live action though.
Yeah, because think about shoot. I hope the Reed Richards that we get up in the
In the
movies
main
is different.
universe, it would be
Yeah,
a good one. Yeah.
I hope that other Reed Richards and just ain't dumb enough to tell the bad guy Thompson, that is the Human Torch. He got fired. This Sue Storm, she can go in there. She can be
She can
invisible.
be.
God,
Yeah.
go. I do not like that.
Yes, me
Which don't
too.
make no sense.
Yeah,
Be, be,
logically.
be,
Why give
because
all these rays?
think about it. Reed Richards got an ego, but that's what Reed Richards ain't that dumb to tell people his powers in the comic books.
Yeah,
He wasn't that stupid to say it.
yeah, yeah,
And that's kind of thing that I can't stand. I said, well, hey man, you telling me that the Reed Richards in the comic books is not dumb enough to tell Wanda his power set and everybody else, but Doubting is in the
yeah,
MCU,
yeah. What? What
man.
ultimate version of the character? But still, people is someone in the universe. Why
Yeah,
you telling his friend the comrade power? What?
why are you telling the enemy? Why are you telling the enemy your people
Well,
power sets? What what they can do?
I'm surprised at how
You
titles
supposed to,
because he said multiple times for them. But yeah,
yeah, because the only thing she said is that she was fighting different versions of this Illuminati that was weaker, and that was
yeah,
one of the strongest versions of the Illuminati. That
yeah. So,
but the only Illuminati member that I didn't agree with was Peggy Carter. I said, wait a minute now, how she made it?
yeah, yeah. What?
Because I'm trying to figure out how she made the team.
Yeah, how else? Like what?
Because if you look at it, Black Bolt, I understand him. Um,
Yeah.
prototype, prototype, I understand her.
Uh-huh.
Reed
Mm-hmm.
Richards, I understand him because he's the leader along with Professor Xavier. I
You
understand
can.
him, but the thing about
Yeah.
yeah, but the thing about it, Reed, but Captain Peggy Carter, how she made it?
Yeah.
That won't make no
What?
sense.
Yeah. How though? The logic remains.
Yeah, that won't make sense for her to make the Illuminati because you look at the big old Illuminati comic books is filled with hitters.
Yeah.
It's filled with hitters, man, in the comic books. And you try
Yeah.
to tell me that Peggy Carter actually made it before Steve Rogers?
What? Nah.
You try to tell me that she made the Illuminati before Steve Rogers that was in the MCU all those years. You tell me that she made it for him? Come on now, that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
And he got the pure form just of the super soldier serum because he got the most pure form of it.
Yeah.
And that was some people don't get that on the strongest super soldier wasn't Steve Rogers, it was the Black Incredible Hulk. It was actually a black man that should have been a Incredible Hulk. I think he was a criminal
Yeah.
or some kind of vigilante or something like that.
Yeah.
He actually made it. I think it's something like that just to get um revenge for somebody. He turned into like a power hungry person.
Right. Yeah.
Just after he did it for a good reason. But the thing is, he let the power control him though,
Yeah.
and that was the bad thing about it. Um, because think about the serum, the serum already bring out the personality that you is that's on the inside.
Yeah.
Because that what happened to him up in the Winter Soldier show, I think.
Right.
Because like up in the Winter Soldier show, they, they had Walker and they had Captain America attitude side by side.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers was more humble,
Yeah.
more humble. He wouldn't question stuff to make sure it was good in that.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, Jesse, the other super soldier, he just followed the orders. He didn't care, and he
Mm-hmm.
had an ego too. He had a big ego, and that was the problem.
Yeah.
And plus, before I leave, dude, you got anything just to promote anything like that?
No, actually, I don't. Actually, I have it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The, like for anybody who want to order a W drain or some kind of Gundam case, anything like that, I got the link down below. Just with the code to use, you want to order anything like that. I got the code up in the description box, right with the link and stuff, anything like that. And plus, I got to post it under my under my channel with the links and stuff like that, just for the updates with the picture and stuff like that. If you go under my channel and stuff that's on there, and like for the Power Ranger Battlefield thing I puts me in, I will
Okay.
update y'all on my channel if it's out and anything like that. If it come out,
Okay.
I will have the link on there. I would have the link on there, or he might post it on TikTok. Honestly, just might post it on TikTok or something like that. If it's on there, he might post it on TikTok, on YouTube, I think, or something like that. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he posting it at. But I will like up just update y'all when it happens,
Okay.
anything,
Yeah.
anything else like that. And like for the link for like for the live stream on tomorrow or Sunday, Sunday, I will be talking about the just about the Harry Potter series in future
Okay.
just on this stream.
Okay.
It'll be about Harry Potter and be about the action movies and stuff like that.
Okay.
And y'all can bring your own topics that y'all want to talk about anything else too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll see y'all later and see y'all next time.